Hello, welcome everyone to another round of the 24-hour horror-a-thon. I was actually just quizzing my partner, funnily enough. I was like, do you know what my read-a-thon is called that I do bi-monthly? Because I do this all the time and, you would think you would notice. He was like, I have no idea. So I gave him multiple choice. He did end up getting it right, but welcome everyone to round something 11-ish probably of the read-a-thon. Today we are joined by my friend Elizabeth. I will let her introduce herself to you in case you do not know, and I have her channel linked down below, so make sure you go check that out. But Elizabeth, do you want to maybe talk about what you do on your channel, maybe your book club, and if you have any like recent favorites to talk about?
Okay, I can do that. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, if you don't know me. My channel is Reading Riley. It's on the thing. So I mostly read, but that was a Freudian slip. But I'm definitely an audio reader, audio listener. Almost 100%. But I read thriller, horror, and a little bit of sci-fi. Sometimes I really like speculative stuff. I really am obsessed with like human nature and why people behave the way they do. And I'm just like, everything I read is trying to get to the root of that because none of it makes sense, people. But anyway, I have a book club. It's called the Midnight Society Book Club. And again, we read thriller, horror, and feminist fiction. It's online and it is a free book club. You can follow me on Instagram for that to get like the most updated stuff. But also I have announcements on my YouTube. And what else? Oh, I finally had a 5-star. And I feel like I'm behind on this one, but it is Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang.
Ooh.
It was really, really good.
I haven't read that one yet, but I do want to. That'll bump it up on my radar.
It was very nice. I haven't even like talked about it to anyone yet, but yeah, I really, really loved how it was. It kind of felt like it was set up to be told as kind of this literary thing, but it was so much more fun to read than I thought it was going to be. It was so much easier to read, and it hit all the like just the perfect points with the body horror, especially. I really loved the body horror in there. The body horror was kind of reminiscent of Our Wives Under the Sea, like that kind of like, but not like the writing wasn't really like that. You know, it's not like super languid writing. It's easy to read writing, easy to listen to. But yeah, I think you would like it.
Nice. Yeah, I've had people recommend it. I was trying to not inundate myself too much with the beauty horror because that's been really trendy right now. There's another one that either just came out or is coming out called Beautyland that I want to read too. So I have to like space them out so you don't read them too
I
long.
want to read that one too.
Yeah. Well, cool. Welcome everyone who's joining us. Let us know what you'll be reading tonight with the read-a-thon. We're going to be reading the Buddy Read, Ring Shout, which you are welcome to read with us. You are by no means obligated to read with us. You can read whatever you choose in this time. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Lexi. Obsessed with Natural Beauty, one of my favorites of last year. Nice. I'm just about through my priority physical TBR right now. And in May, I'm going to be reading a lot for the Escape the Read-a-thon that Lexi hosts. So I'm looking for like audiobooks and things to pile up. And I know that one's on Everand. So that'll definitely be top tier.
Yep, it is.
Exciting. Hello. Elizabeth, what is your book club pick for the month?
Oh, this month I'm actually in the middle of reading it. We are reading Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. It's kind of a step away from what I usually read in my book club because it's true crime. And I am, now that I've started it, definitely feeling the difference between like nonfiction and fiction or true crime and fiction. But really interesting. And obviously, like I have to see the Scorsese movie adaptation. And so that's kind of the reason I chose that one this month, because I want to watch the movie and I will be able to watch it guilt-free once I have finished the book.
It's always fun to do that, even if you don't love the book, to like read a book and then immediately watch the movie. Just like creates such a good experience.
Yes. And then if y'all want to join us for the live show on my channel, it's going to be Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, May 1st, I think it is, at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Nice. Oh, this week kicked my ass. I don't know how many sprints I make it through, but I'm here. That's what counts. Well, hopefully it can be relaxing and help you wind down after a long week. Hey, Amy, finishing up the Ballad of Black Tom and then starting the buddy read. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, the way we do the read-a-thon is we pick a couple options and everyone votes on what they want. And it was between Ring Shout and the Ballad of Black Tom by Victor Laval. And people were up in arms. They wanted both. So we have a sort of bonus buddy read this time around. So if you're in the Discord, if you're not, the Discord's linked down below. We also have a channel to talk about the Ballad of Black Tom. And I read that one early in advance for this. I read it today. Didn't love it. So I'm kind of glad it didn't win as the main one. But have you read this one, Elizabeth?
I've not, but I have. It's been on my TBR for a long time.
I gave it like a 2.5. So it was right in the middle. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't feel like it did a whole lot for me. It's a pretty quick story. And it's pretty cosmic. It's like Lovecraftian horror, which I haven't found something that really hits for me in that subgenre yet. So
yeah, I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I feel about cosmic horror, because I feel like there are elements of cosmic horror that I really, really love that kind of intersect with almost like techno thrillers or like stuff that's just on the weird side, but not necessarily monster cosmic. Because Lovecraftian is not my thing, with the like monsters and the whole like, oh, we've been part of this world forever for thousands of years, but you just never knew we existed. Like that kind of cosmic horror, not really for me. But I have found a couple that I've enjoyed, so I'm still trying to explore that. Is this considered cosmic horror?
I don't know. I think maybe. I see this one called like fantasy horror. So I'm prepared for it to potentially get cosmic. The Ballad of Black Tom wasn't monster driven. It was more like things are kind of weird. Sort of like with, I guess kind of monster, but not like a big octopus in the sky kind of monster situation. It like played with time a little bit.
Oh, I like that.
But
interesting.
Hey, Whitney, going to read the backup pick, The Ballad of Black Tom. Got some people reading Ring Shout with us. Killers of the Flower Moon was great, but I'm a huge nonfiction reader. Oh, and Sarah enjoyed it as well.
Good to hear.
My copy of Natural Beauty is so close to being available. I'm reading The Hollow Places today. That one's kind of cosmic, the T. Kingfisher book.
Oh, I've not read that one either, but I remember when you read it and you liked it. Did you like it? Or is that the one
you okay? I gave it a 3.
Oh, okay.
I've only read that one from T. Kingfisher, and then I tried the What Moves the Dead. Didn't like the writing style of that one.
Oh, I read what is the one, not the Good House. That's
the tree, the ghost tree.
No, it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to drive me nuts now. The one where the picture looks like old lady-ish, but it's actually not. The house, something about a house. I'll think of it later and I'll let you know. But it was really good.
A T. Kingfisher book, or just like in general?
Yes, T. Kingfisher.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me hold. Go ahead.
This is worth investigating.
Yeah.
Because I really want to like T. Kingfisher, because I know a lot of people really, really love T. Kingfisher's books.
Well, the impression that I got from the first book of hers that I read was that she likes a kind of old-fashioned tone, or she likes to play off that tone of the like giving imagery of like, think of like doilies and things like that. But at the same time, her characters feel really fresh and really like modern and vibrant. A House with Good Bones. That was the one. I liked that.
Oh, yeah. That one I still want to try, because I know it was really popular last year.
Yeah.
That's another one that's like, I'll probably try to read it in May as an audiobook.
And it was a lot like more fast paced and like more accessible than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, I should have just looked. Everyone knew.
I should have looked too. Thank y'all.
Ooh, starting Bunny tonight. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Hello. I'm going to be reading Murder Road. Nice.
Is that the new Simone St. James? Or
yes.
old?
Yep, new.
New.
Okay. I liked that one. I gave it a 3.5.
Oh, nice. I haven't read that one yet.
I think it is Gabby's book club pick, and it
Oh.
might also be Jesse's from Reading with Jess.
Oh, okay.
So pretty popular in the book club circle right now.
Yeah. Heard.
Reading I Feed Her to the Beast, and the Beast is Me. I love that title.
I love that title too. I'm interested now.
Didn't like House of Good Bones. I don't think she's. Yeah, I think it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll give that one a try.
Mm.
All right. Well, we have a lot of reading to do, so we can go ahead and jump on into our first sprint. Are you good with 45 minutes? Do you want to go a little shorter, 30, 35?
45 is fine,
Okay,
or whatever you want. That
cool.
works.
We will do that then and see everyone back in 45.
All right, sounds good.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let us know how your sprint went, what you read or did, and how it went. How is Ring Shot going for you?
Pretty good. I have started this one once before. Like I've owned this book for like since it came out around 2020 sometime. And I don't think I got very far into it the first time I read it. But I'm enjoying it. I like that it's like we're like personifying evil, I guess, through the KKK. And there's a lot of stuff in here that I am paying close attention, so I'm catching some things that I definitely didn't catch the first time. Yeah, it's going pretty good. How are you doing? How are you liking it?
Same. I'm feeling neutral to slightly positive about it right now. I'm not like really hooked in it, but I'm not disliking it.
I was surprised that the three main characters were all women. Like, I don't know why, if that was if that was purposeful to make me think that, or if that's just the patriarchy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
same.
3 women, so that's cool.
I had to like triple check in the beginning. Like, wait, are these all women?
Yeah.
And then you're looking at the names and then the way they're talking and acting. Like, oh, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, because one of them is called Chef, one of them is called Maurice, and then Sadie, who is obviously a woman, female, whatever. But yeah, you kind of find out as you go. I don't want to. How far are you? How far did you get?
60 pages. So I'm in chapter 3.
Okay, I'm not on chapter 3 yet. I'm almost there. I'm at the end of chapter 2, page 52. So a little behind you.
You've met the Molly character by that point too? Yeah, she seems like she'll be cool.
Yeah. And I think it's cool. Like have you heard of the film Birth of a Nation prior to?
I don't remember if it says it in the synopsis. Yeah, it says it in the synopsis. So then I re-looked it up because it was like sort of familiar, something you learned about a long time ago. So I had to refamiliarize myself.
Yeah, so I took a couple of years ago, I took a film class and we watched some excerpts from that film. And it was super intense. And I really love that P. Jelly Clark is just going into how this kind of sparked whatever is happening, like the birth of a nation. And because it did really spark something in real history too. So it's kind of taking real history and then making it into like, not making it into anything, but just reframing it essentially. You have these 3 women who are hunting Ku Kluxes. But we're now learning that Ku Kluxes are not the same as Klan members, but perhaps they once were Klan members who have turned into Ku Kluxes. So I think this is cosmic based on what I'm reading.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't have the best definition or understanding of cosmic.
Same.
With any subgenre, really. Everyone just kind of classifies things because we're not professionals, we're just having fun reading. So it's like we all kind of know what we're talking about, but it's definitely fantastical. Depending on your definition of cosmic, I think it's also cosmic.
Yeah. So essentially like, what did they say? Okay. So the idea of it, and I don't think we're not to a point where it's like spoilers yet. Do you think?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So the idea of it is that what does she say? So people get infected. Once infected, there is a morphological transformation that seems dependent on the individual. And so talking about how the Klan folk turned Ku Klux, and the Ku Klux are essentially, they're calling them Haints, which I think is like ghost or like demon or something along those lines. But she said it's like an infection or a parasite, and it feeds on hate. And so that's why it's like targeting these Klan members, because it's feeding off of their hate, which I really like the social commentary
Yeah.
that is going into this, because it really is taking something that's real life and just reframing it just a little bit. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a cool pairing too with having read The Ballad of Black Tom earlier today, because this one is not based on, well, maybe based on real life in some extent, but this is based on a Lovecraft story called Murder at Red Hook, I think it's called. And it's one of his big ones.
Okay.
Um, known as being one of his best stories, but also one of his most racist stories. And so this is Victor Laval's like response to that story, taking similar characters, but changing up what happens. And then this being based on real life. It's kind of cool seeing those mimicking. But this book's also, Ring Shout, is reminding me of, and I cannot remember the name of it, but I think you read it too. It's a novella or a shorter book, and it's about like a pandemic, but it's like something about like you're not, they think there's monsters and then there's not, but it's like if you're infected, it's that you're seeing
Oh, yes,
monsters.
yes, yes. I know what you're talking about. Oh my gosh, I don't
Yeah.
know it, but I did read it. And it's pink, right? It's pink.
I think so.
Um, oh no.
I
Yeah,
have been thinking of this book the whole time and I
I
cannot,
really like that book too. I
yeah, I
really
can't
like that
remember
one.
what it's
Oh no,
called. If
let us,
anyone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know.
yeah, someone let us know. And it's hold on, I own it. Here it is. And then I woke up. This one, right?
Yes.
Yes, I really liked this one too. And same with the like kind of social commentary about society and civilization, but then also like surreal and
Hmm.
really kind of wacky, and you don't know what's real and what's not.
Hmm. You got that so quick.
I did. I just looked. It was like at the first place that I looked. Yeah, I totally get that reference, and that makes complete sense to me too.
Mhm. Well, cool. Let's see how everyone else is doing. In the middle of chapter 7 in Ring Shout. I imagine that's probably towards the end-ish. Looks like there's like 9, 10 chapters in the book. How are you liking it, Samantha? Hello, I'm reading Night Watching. I just saw Ashley give it a 1. I did, but I'm the anomaly. Everyone else is really liking that. So I don't know. I just had a weird experience with it, I guess.
I don't know if I know what that is.
It is by Tracy Sierra, and it is a home invasion story.
Hmm.
It's Kayla's book club, Literally Dead book club.
Okay, I'm still behind on the book clubs right now. I feel so bad. Okay, but yes, you're on top of it, thankfully, to let me know. Night watching. Yeah, I started watching. Oh yeah, that does look familiar. Yeah, I started reading Anybody Home, I
Mhm.
think it's called, and I ended up DNFing it. I just wasn't into it. I don't know if the home invasion is my thing.
That is a weird book in general.
Mhm.
The way it's written is very different.
Yeah,
Um,
it's in second person, I think, isn't it?
yes, and the angle of this book, for anyone who hasn't read it, it's by Michael D. Sedlinger, I think is the author's name.
I think that's right.
And it's written from the perspective of a person teaching you how to conduct a home invasion because they've done so many that they're like an expert at it. So you're kind of reading it as like, here's what you do. And it gets more disturbing as the book goes on. It's a shorter book, but you're like put in the place of someone who's torturing a family, which is horrible. His new book, I have an arc of. The publisher just sent it to me. So I'm excited for that one. I don't know what it's about. It's called I don't know. I can't even see it because it's a black book with red text on it. But
Mhm.
I liked Anybody Home, but also felt detached from it in a weird way, which is weird because second person usually like pulls you into the story more, but the writing is a little, I don't
Mhm.
know, clinical maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, from what I recall, it was probably like a couple months ago now, and from my recollection, there were like talking about like the video cameras in the house and how they were able to like they picked out the house that they were going to do, and they were like going through that. But I just like, I wasn't scared, I wasn't really unsettled, I was just kind of like, it wasn't really giving what I wanted from it, so I just put it down. Not saying that I would never finish it, but I just don't know if that's my
Yeah.
thing.
I think I remember the first and second half being kind of different in that one. So maybe the second half is when it picks up. But I remember when I was reading it, I think I was maybe contemplating DNFing too. And then I pushed through, and I've always been like, if you're into it, you're into it. And if you're not, you're not.
Yeah, but that's my biggest fear is that I'm not into it. And then you're like, yeah, and someone's like, yeah, but the second half's very different. And I'm like, well, say less. Let me pick it back up. And then I'll like, what if I don't like it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has a lot of books. I'm trying to find the one that you're talking about. And
How does he?
Holy cow, he has a lot of books.
I don't know. I think there's like darkness in the title. The Body Harvest, is that it maybe? Yeah, I think that one comes out in July.
Oh, okay. The Body.
Yeah, that's what it is. It says in the following passage. Oh, wait, that's a passage from the book. Okay, I don't want to read that. I don't know what the book's about, but I'm going to read it next month. We'll see.
It says expressive horror for the TikTok generation.
I don't know what that means, but we'll see.
That's how you will.
5 minutes left in the Ballad of Black Tom. Nice. Let us know what you think of it when you finish. I like the characters, but I'm just starting to get into the story. It took me a second to that first chapter. I don't love being thrown into action in books all the time, and it's a very action-y first chapter. So I told myself, I was like, just get past the first chapter. Chapter 2 will introduce you to what's going on, and then chapter 2 gets you into the story more.
Yeah, that's true.
Made it to chapter 3. You're right along with us. Hey, Leslie. Got here late, but I'm 41 pages into the ebook for Ring Shout. DNF'd Ring Shout before the end of chapter 2. Not going to lie, I was getting very lost and really not enjoying the writing. I switched to the Ballad of Black Tom. Well, hopefully that one goes better for you.
Fair.
Starting chapter 4 of Black Tom. Made it to page 35 of Bindle Punk Bruja. I haven't heard of this.
I have not either.
Hidden Pictures, DNF'd Night Watching. If you start Night Watching and you don't like it, I will warn you, it doesn't get any better. It's the same thing the whole time. So,
oh no.
About 40% in. Loved it. Great read, especially as a parent. If you plan on reading Night Watching, there's a lot of gaslighting in it.
Okay.
Which I know is something you don't love. So for that, for anyone who doesn't like reading about that. Looking forward to a discussion about the themes of being ignored or dismissed as an emotional woman are really hitting. Yeah, that is a large portion of the book.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough.
Gave it a 4. I'm seeing a lot of people give it 4s and 5s. So I think it'll be pretty popular. I'm pretty sure it's a debut too, which is impressive.
You know what? I think I should mention, and maybe someone in the chat can clarify for me, but I don't know. I got this on Audible because I already had the book and I was like, okay, I need the audio, and it wasn't on Everand. They had the ebook on Everand, but not the audio. And then I couldn't get it from my library. There was a hold. So I got it on Audible and it just added it to my library. And now I don't know if it did not use a credit. So I don't know if it's free on Audible or if I bought it in the past and forgot about it and then just like re-uploaded it to my library. I don't know. So in case anyone's curious, it could potentially be free for Audible members.
I always forget too to check. I don't know if you have Spotify, but now Spotify has audiobooks, and with short books too that only use up like a small amount of your credits for 15 hours or whatever it is. But I feel like this should be on there. It's a pretty popular book.
Are there a lot of options on Spotify? I've never read a book on Spotify before.
Yeah, I've never read them. I've browsed it before, and there's like popular big books on there.
And it's just free with your membership?
Yep. Yeah, you just get like it's either 10 or 15 or 12 hours, something like that, in a month of audiobook reading that you get. So it's not like you only get one book. You can read like 2 hours of this book and 2 hours of this book. And
that's cool that they're like upfront about it, like how many hours you get, because with like Everand or the artist formerly known as Scribd, they don't tell you. So you never know when they're just going to throttle you.
And then they just disappear. Your books will just disappear, and it's like, you can't read this until 6 weeks from now.
It'd be a really cool feature if they had like a countdown of like, okay,
Mhm.
you have this much listening left in this month. And then you could just at least prepare, you know?
Mhm. Or, like, some kind of warning, because I don't even know if it's based on time or book popularity. Like, can you listen to a lot of old books that no one's listening to, and then that's fine?
Yeah. It is
I don't
based
know,
on
like, if
demand.
it's like, "Hey, if you listen to this book, you're gonna be capped out with 2024 releases for, a couple weeks."
Well, I found that like when I am listening to like older books, I can read a lot more. And then
Mhm.
it is based on demand. I know that, but I don't know like exactly how they measure that. Because it's like a certain cutoff. Like as soon as I hit that, whatever the measurement is, there's like specific books are not available until the next time, and then other books are still available, but just like newer ones, I guess, or ones that people are reading.
Yeah. It's a big puzzle that you have to do with figuring out, what are you gonna try to read on Everand? What are you gonna put in a Libby hold? When does your hold come in? When are you being restricted on Script or Everand? I keep saying Scribd, it's so hard to get past that.
Mhm.
Well, we can hop back into reading, get some more chapters in, and reconvene in another 45.
Sounds good.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
How'd that sprint go for you?
Good. I literally just finished chapter 4, and I'm on the notation before chapter 5, and I'm becoming curious about these things.
I'm going to refresh myself what happens there.
I understand. There's one before each chapter, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And first couple were about the shouts. There's the shout that we call Rock Daniel. Maybe there's not one before every chapter. I think this is the third one. And there's a shout that we do about old Pharaoh Moses. Okay, so this is another shout. What is a shout?
I think they're all about shouts. I think it is like their songs that they're singing, like when they all get together.
Okay, like a spiritual or something?
Yeah, I think earlier in like chapter 2 or 3, there was a moment where the main character mentioned something about how I don't remember if she said like it cleanses them or protects them or just connects them.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I think it's like church singing and how that can be like religious experience. That's how I'm inferring.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm on, let's see, where am I at? I'm just about on chapter 5, right at chapter 5. So 95, I guess, page 95. And it's getting intense. All of the okay, I'm kind of like, do I like what's it called? The Lovecraftian stuff? Do I like it? Because every time we're describing these Ku Kluxes, I'm like super into it. I'm like, okay, this is so nasty and like gross. It's like body horror, but is it even considered body horror if it's not on the body of a human? Like, is that the difference between Lovecraftian and just straight up body horror? There's so much going on right now.
Yeah, I agree though. That is my favorite part of it too. And I'm just going to keep comparing these books because multiple people are reading both of them. But this one definitely feels scarier than this one in the visualization depiction of it. Like it feels more heavily horror. This one's also horror, but it's a little more like fantasy magical stuff. This one feels more horror facing in the front. So I'm glad this one ended up winning.
Nice.
But yeah, Leslie said the shouts are the thing they mentioned. The movement that goes along with like a spiritual, she made a point of calling it a movement, not a dance.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Are you liking the story in general though?
Yeah, I'm really liking it. I do feel like since the difference between the first sprint and the second sprint was like vast.
Yes.
Like the first sprint with like actually like chasing down the Ku Klux and like, just right into action, like you were saying. And then after that, after like right at like chapter 3, you start delving into more of like, what is this? Where did it come from? What is the, origin story of this thing? And what is the greater threat that could happen? And we're also like differentiating between people who have the sight and people that don't. And we're going into like root magic and stuff like that. I really love this. In fact, this is reminding me a lot of Tananary of Dew, where kind of blends the spiritual and the supernatural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been thinking about her stuff too while reading this. I feel like this section started to lose me a little in the middle with the like dreamlike sequences that are occurring.
I
liked them, but I feel like it's slowing the story down for me a little. I think just in general, the pacing is kind of weird because, like you said, the first part is so like action-y, and then it's like backstory, dreamlike sequences, and I assume it'll go back more into action. And I feel like I'm used to kind of going the other way, where it starts slow, builds, and then slows down. So I think it's just like getting into the flow of it.
How far are you?
I just started chapter 7. So I'm at 126.
Okay. Are you listening to the audiobook too, or are you just reading?
I'm just reading it.
You're a fast reader. I don't know how you do that. I'm listening at 2.2 times speed, and you're reading.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, what audiobook was I listening to? Oh, do you know that book, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer? It was a pretty big one last year. It's like a literary fiction.
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
So I tried that. It must have been yesterday or the day before on audiobook. And that's the slowest audiobook I've ever heard in my life, where I usually start a book at 1.8. And then as I get comfortable in the story, I speed up to 2. Sometimes I go up to 2.2, 2.25 if it's a slower book. I was like starting at 2.5 with that one because it was so slow. And they paused so long between sentences. And so sometimes I'm like reading a book or listening to an audiobook and thinking like, God, I could go so much faster if I were just looking at the page, because why are you taking 5 seconds between sentences?
I can't though. Like I don't at all. I'm so much faster when I'm listening, because if it's just me, look, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My dog is laying on my charging cord right now, and he keeps moving my computer because it's plugged in. What was I saying? If I'm left to my own devices, I will just stare at a word and go, not even pass it. I will not continue forward. I will just contemplate like one sentence for like ever, or get distracted by something else. So I have to have audio. But I do think this particular audio narrator, the way she speaks and the cadence of her voice makes it really easy to speed up, because it's just like, it's almost like rhythmic. And for me personally, even though I listen to audio most of the time, if not all of the time, I typically listen to it slower than most audio readers. I'm comfortable. I start at 1.5, and then sometimes I'll go up to 1.75. I very rarely listen at 2 or higher, unless it's like this, where it's like a very distinctive, like cadenced voice like this. But I do like the audio narrator. I think the audio is good. I love that. Can I say that? I love that Sadie is like a conspiracy theorist, which is like the government's
Yeah.
I love Sadie. She's like my favorite person so far.
Yeah, I imagine the audiobook must be good for this one too, because there's like a distinct dialect in the text too. So I thought about putting the audio on, but I didn't want to chase it down.
I think it would take me even longer to read this physically because of that, but the way she's saying it with the dialect, it makes complete sense off the bat without even having to like think about it. It just makes sense. Yeah, I'm really liking it.
Yeah, I'm glad it's going well for both of us. Where was I? Page 73 in Black Tom, digging it so far, even though I don't like what just happened. I imagine that's like the sad part in that book that you're probably referring to, but I won't spoil it. Finished the Ballad of Black Tom and started Ring Shout. The first book was okay. It was a little weird. I'm not liking Ring Shout. I just got to chapter 2.
Okay, well, hang it. It's different.
It does. Makes a couple changes. The Ballad of Black Tom is more fantasy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, it reminded me of the Lone Woman book Victor Laval wrote in a way. I never finished that one. I actually DNF'd that book, but makes sense. Same author. The Ballad
of Black Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I haven't read that one either, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah. The concept is just like a woman's traveling with something in her trunk. I was like, I don't know how long I can follow a woman just traveling with something in her trunk, but I do hear it has a good payoff.
She'd have to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. A little hard to follow at times. Is that Black Tom? I thought that one was a little funky as well. I'm still only on chapter 4, I think. I think it's because they're such different tones. Didn't realize that. I did end up liking that book, The Lone Woman.
Oh, cool.
She did travel. It was a good payoff. Good to know. Alrighty. Well, we can go into another sprint.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is 100 and oh gosh, so it's 180, 179 pages. I'm on
Does Audible not tell you how long we have?
No, it does. I haven't even looked at it, to be honest. Oh, it says I have an hour and 21 minutes left at 2.2.
Okay, so that's like a 45 and then 30.
Yeah. Are you down to do that?
You want to do one long one or do you want to do a 45 and then another?
Let's do a 45 and then a shorter one.
We will do that. See everyone soon.
Cool.
I just finished the book. I had to add a minute to the timer so that I would have enough time.
Hey.
Oh,
did you? Oh, there we go. I muted it. Sorry.
I just the book. I had like 2 pages left and the timer was going to run out, so I had to add another minute so I could finish it.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh gosh. I'm not finished, but I'm close and I'm in it. I'm on 133. So I still have, I'm on chapter 7 or 8. Where am I at? 7.
Nice.
So, but
So
yeah.
There's I don't know how long it is. Oh, just a page. I like to read the acknowledgments at the end. I didn't have time to read that, but I'll read that as well. And then dive into some reviews and things. I don't know exactly what I'm going to read it yet. I need to like simmer.
Yeah.
For a minute.
This is definitely, sorry, my dogs are barking. Well, one of them is. I'm really into it. Like, I'm really liking it. I'm so confused right now. Like, I'm so confused as to what's happening. I want to know where Chef went because I haven't heard from her in a minute. And like, I'm confused about her brother. Like, what's going on with that? But yeah, I have a lot of questions, but I'm really enjoying it. And I kind of like this. Like, I don't often do this where I just like go full in and like try to finish a book in one setting, or one sitting, I guess. But I'm really liking it. It's fun. I feel like I'm like it's hardcore. I guess that's what a read-a-thon should be.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about these is we always do novellas so we can just finish it in the sprint. There's been like a couple of times when the book was a little more in like 230, 250 pages. So I didn't finish it all in one sitting on the sprints, but for the most part, they're usually quicker, shorter little books. We can all read together pretty fast, which is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. My husband kept coming in to like chit chat, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm falling behind. Like I want to catch up, but I'm falling behind."
I felt similar though, like kind of confused through some of it, which knocks the writing down a little bit for me because at some parts I was like, "What is happening? Where are we going? What are we doing?" But it'll be between a 3 to 4.
Okay.
So it was a stamp of approval.
Nice.
I like what you do in your book club. The admitted to the society if it's above an average rating or whatever.
Yeah, 3 or higher. Mm-hmm.
Well, this made it into the 24-hour horror-a-thon society for
me. Approved.
Made it to page 103, but too sleepy to keep on. Have a good night. Have a good night, Whitney. Yes, it is. 144, chapter 7, getting pulled in more. Yeah, the end goes really quick from chapter 7 through the end. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to, I don't have any other horror books on my TBR for this month. I'm in the middle of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas right now, which is nowhere near the theme of this read-a-thon. And I need to read The Devotion of Suspect X for a book club. Mm-hmm. That's more like mystery thriller, I think. So I picked up The Beast You Are by Paul Tremblay to read a short story because it's little short stories. And actually, I think it was Whitney who sent me this, which was really nice. And she just left. But Whitney, if you see this later, thank you for the book. I will be diving into this now. But I thought it might be nice just to read a little short story or something. I'm probably going to read some reviews of Ring Shout first. Mm-hmm. I like to do that after reading a book, like digest it before jumping into something else.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny that you mentioned Sarah J. Maas because I was just thinking of Sarah J. Maas when I was reading this, actually, because there are some moments in there where I'm totally understanding why they're calling it fantasy. And I'm getting Sarah J. Maas vibes a little bit.
I was too. And I was like, is it just because that's what I'm reading right now? Is it because I have such limited readership in the fantasy genre and all I have to compare when I see a sword is Sarah J. Maas?
No, it's not. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's like, Yeah, it's like Tananarive meets Sarah J. Maas. Or even I'm even getting like kind of Eric LaRocca energy from here too.
Oh, yeah.
In the way that like it's just really weird, and the way that the
Mhm.
horror aspects are described in the writing and stuff, how it's kind of like artsy, I guess, like almost like avant-garde in a way, like
Mhm.
literary avant-garde.
Yeah, the imagery in this was really good.
Hmm.
It also reminded me this book reminds me of so many things. I was thinking of When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen.
Hmm.
Mhm. It's a
What
big
part
one.
of what part of that was connecting that one to you?
You might feel it more when you get to the end of the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I do love that. I do really like that book. I love this social commentary in there too. So
Mhm. Made it to
that
page 156. Nice. Usually agree, so I'm surprised I'm liking this one. I liked Ring Shout. Is that what you're talking about? Oh no, you're talking about
like
Night
Black
Watching.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I was like, did I not like Ring Shout? I thought I did.
Oh, I didn't mention it, but there was the sad part that came at the beginning of this sprint.
Mhm, mhm. I was gonna message you about it, but I was like, I have no idea when she's gonna be at that. I don't want to potentially spoil anything, but
Yeah, that was sad, but it's taking me through the emotions,
mhm,
for such a short story. That's impressive
mhm,
because it definitely clawed its way in there and made me feel things.
mhm.
Even now, I'm not done yet. So
I didn't feel like I didn't feel like we got a lot about the main character in
hmm.
this, but all of the characters, the side characters around do feel like distinct people. So that helped a bit.
They feel like the what people?
There's like distinct
It's-
personalities, you know.
yeah, that's really hard to do too. Like this, I feel like in such a short book to have that many characters that do feel so distinctive
Mhm.
because you're not. This isn't even. Hmm. Would you call this character driven? I don't. I don't think it is.
No,
Yeah.
it's really plot driven.
Yeah. Because, but you still get a very you still get an impression of these people, and they do feel real even though they're not completely fleshed out. That's got to be a very like that's a very nuanced thing to be able to pull off, I feel like.
Mhm. Mhm. I feel like a lot happens in this too
Hmm.
for it to be such a short book.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, do you know how much you have on your audiobook?
Well, let's look. If you're tired too, we don't have to. Yeah, and I still have 42 minutes on here. So
Mm.
I don't have to finish it during the sprints. It's not a big deal. Like I'll finish it tonight either way, probably.
Yeah, I don't know if I have 40 minutes.
Yeah, we can call
But
it if you want, or we can do like 20 minutes if you want. Either way.
yeah, I think this will be a good clean spot. And then for anyone who wants to know Elizabeth's final thoughts, we do have a Discord where we chat about the books. So you can always update there and hear final thoughts of the ending.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for hosting these and for having me on. And then tomorrow we're watching the movie, right?
Yep, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. The readathon goes 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. I was like, what is that called? West Coast.
That
We'll be
way.
watching It Follows, which is available on Netflix at 8 p.m. And we chat in the Discord for that. So you just have to have a way to stream the movie yourself. And then we do the countdown, make sure everyone's ready to go. So I'll probably put a message out tomorrow afternoon, just checking to see how many people are planning to watch to make sure I know who all to wait for. And then we watching that tomorrow night, which have you seen that movie before?
No, I don't
Oh,
think so.
I watched it when it first came out, but I really don't remember anything about it. So it's going to be a fresh experience.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining as well, and hope everyone has a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
See you.